वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. In this chapter 5, we saw the verse 13, 5.13, made a very picturesque description of how an illumined human being would look at her or his own relation with the body. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya. So this sadhaka, now who is a siddha, has the understanding, manasa. That means his understanding is such. He knows very clearly, I am not doing anything. No karma actually belongs to me. To a large extent, he might have actually quit. To a certain extent, in the eyes of others, he is doing things. So, karma, whether literally given up or otherwise, from his understanding point of view, he is not doing anything. Sukham vashi aste. He stays happily in the body. The body is described as a city of 9 gates. Navadvare pure dehi. Deha is body, dehi is the indwelling spirit. Naiva kurvan na karayan. Shānkara explains this. The shloka meanings we saw last time. Sarvani karmani, sarva karmani. That is what we call karmadhare samasa. All actions. Somebody else might mistake it. Sarva karmani means sarvesham karmani. That would be tatpurusha. The actions of everybody. The reference is not to everybody's actions. Though for the jnani, there is no duality. He is in all are in him. That's a different issue. But here, sarva does not mean sarvesham jananam, but sarva means sarvani karmani. Sarvani karmani, sarva karmani, santyajya, sanyasya, parityajya, nityam, naimittikam, kamyam, pratisiddhancha, tani sarvani karmani, manasa, viveka buddhya. So manasa here means through very clear discrimination between anatma and atma. As a result, karma adav, in things like karma, he is able to see akarma. Just as you and I know in modern physics, in the sun that is rising, we know clearly sun is not rising. Karma adav akarma sandarshane santyajya. Aste tishtati sukham. So this sannyasa, born of jnana, gives to him great happiness. Tyakta vangmana kaya cheshta nirayasa. Vak, speech, manaha, thought, and kaya is physical action. He has said goodbye to that identification which existed before. Nirayasa. No strain, no stress. Prasanna chitta, with a mind that has attained serenity. Atmanaha anyatra nivritta sarva bahya prayojanaha. You and I look for happiness in many other places. Even as we are studying the Vedanta, we may think about some money. Oh, that fixed deposit is maturing. I better reinvest it. Or maybe, because we know that if we do something, there is happiness. If we don't do something, there is sorrow. So we believe our happiness depends on external things. But in his case, other than Atma, he does not have any prayojana, anything. Iti sukham aste. Vashi means jitendriya. So very spontaneous, natural self-control. Katham aste navadvare pure. Bhagavan Bhāshya goes into explaining what is this nine-gated city. Sapta shirshanyani. Those that are in the head or in the face region are called shirshanya. Sapta shirshanyani atmanaha upalabdhi dvarani. That's how we get perceptions. Arvat. Two more are in the lower part of the body. Mutra pari purisha sargarte. So 7 plus 2 is 9. The 7 we said in the last class too. The 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the 2 nostrils, and 1 mouth. So 9 gates. Why is it called a Puram, a city? Puram iva. It's an analogy. Puram Atmaika Swamikam. There is a city, especially in the context of olden days, where a king would rule the city. Pura is Puram iva Puram and Atma Eka Swamikam. In that analogy, a certain king is the ruler. Here, the pure self is the ruler. Tadartha prayojanaischa indriya mano buddhi shayaihi aneka phala vijnanasya utpadakaihi prairiva adhishtitam. Just as numerous citizens in a city engage in many transactions, the king is overseeing everything. Merchants are doing business, sportsmen are playing various sports, students are going to schools, teachers are teaching them, many things are happening in the city. The king sees it all and he knows in various contexts who brings, who takes away, who brings money, who spends away money, all of course for things that are needed. So, aneka phala vijnanasya utpadaka. Citizens bring money or spend money. Likewise, all these 9 gates and then the faculties in the body, they produce results, positive or negative. Tasmin navadvare pure dehi sarvam karma sanyasya aste. So the vision of the illumined one is, I am in this body, but I actually am not involved. What does it mean? The second part of the shloka said it. Naiva kuryan, naiva kurvan, na karayan. Before Shankaracharya goes to that, he raises a question in the mouth of the Purva Pakshi, the imagined opponent. The Purva Pakshi says, why should we say he stays in the body? Both the ignorant one, sannyasi is illumined one, asannyasi is the ignorant one. Purva Pakshi says, kim vishayashanena sarvo hi dehi sannyasi asannyasi va. Whether one is a sannyasi or not, dehe eva aste. After illumination, does the illumined person live on a tree? He also lives in the body. The unillumined also lives in the body. Why make a distinction? Tatra anarthakam visheshanam. Therefore, the adjective in this sannyasi or this vashi, there is a distinct reference to someone who is other than all majority of people. The Bhāshya playing the role now of the Siddhanti. One who raises a doubt is Purva Pakshi. One who answers is the Siddhanti, the representative of the main school. Yastu ajnaha uchyate, this is answered. Yastu ajnaha dehi dehendriya sanghata matra atmadarshi sa sarvaha yehe bhumau asaneva ase manyate. So reference is to ajna. An ignorant man literally thinks, I am in this body. I am in this body. I am in this house. I am sitting on floor, or I am sitting on a chair. They bhumau asaneva, etc. But then nahi dehamatratmadarshinaha, with reference to that particular person, he doesn't say, I am as though in my body. In next sentence, there is a word iva. That's the critical difference. And there is a no. The ignorant man does not say, I am as though in the body. The rather says, I am in the body. The body is everything to him. Deha matratma darshinaha yehe iva pratyaha nahi sambhavati. Whereas now comes the jnani. Jnani is in the body, but he uses the word iva to explain. Dehadi sanghata vyatirikta atmadarshinastu dehe ase iti pratyaha upapadyate. That idea might be in him, but parakarmanancha, various actions being performed by others, by oneself, parasmin atmani avidyaya aropitanam, adhyaropitanam, vivekajnanena manasa sannyasa upapadyate. Even though he says, yes, I am in the body, the distinction is he gets that intuition, he gets that insight through which he renounces the sense of being limited to the body, being one with the body. Those ideas go away. Therefore, both are there, but they are poles apart. This is very well brought out by a certain Ramana Maharshi in his Saddarshanam explains this. There is a shloka which has a bearing on this, because every student of Vedanta actually gets this doubt. The doubt is, what is the Jnani's relation with his body? The 19th verse in Saddarshanam says, Dehatma bhave na jadau samanau ekasya dehe hrididipta atma akramya dehancha jagatcha purnaha parasya meyam tanumatramatma. Apart from the Sanskrit wordings and the poetry, the second and third line of the shloka talk about the Jnani. The Jnani, yes, does see himself as being in the body. He sees himself as the shining Atma seated in the body, but the third line of the shloka has Akramya dehancha jagatcha purnaha. Though I am in this body, in no way I am limited to this body. Deham akramya, jagatcha akramya. I actually pervade the entire universe. Whereas the fourth line of that shloka in Saddarshanam points to the ajna, the ignorant. Parasya means the other fellow. Meyam. For him, the Atma is meyam, measurable, limited. Tanumatram. I am in this body and I am the body. I am limited to the body. I am not anything even 1 inch beyond this body. So, the first line is a very interesting statement. Deha Atma Bhave Jnani Ajnani cha Samanav. Both of them say, yes, I am this body. Difference is, Jnani knows, I am this body and I am this whole universe too. I am not limited to the body. Whereas Ajnani, the ignorant one, says, I am this body and I am completely this body only. So, Bhagavad Gita echoes in Saddarshanam. So that's what Adi Shankara explains here. Upapadyate manasa sannyasah. What does it imply? Utpanna viveka vijnanasya. Utpanna viveka vijnanasya. Once someone has got that viveka, ability to distinguish between the false I, which was operational before, and the true I. Utpanna viveka vijnasasya sarvakarma sannyasina api dehe iva dehe eva navadvare pure asanam prarabdha phala karma sanskara shesha anuvritya. The Pura Pakshi may wonder, if he thinks he is the whole universe, then maybe he has no relation with the body at all. Shankara says, no, because of prarabdha karma. Till this body falls, the illumined person does have a certain sense of, this is my body. But there is a 100% detachment too. Therefore, masters call this sometimes relationless relationship. You are the body, and yet you are way beyond the body. In the case of the ignorant one, he is the body, full stop. Nothing more. He doesn't dare think, I am beyond the body. Therefore, the dropping off of the identification is the main difference. Prarabdha phala karma sanskara shesha anuvritya. Dehe eva vishesha vijnana utpattehe. Dehe eva aste iti asti eva visheshana phalam. Therefore, though talking about a jnani, the expression is used. Navadvare pure dehi aste. He is not literally delinked. In essence, he is in the body, but his understanding takes him way beyond the body. Therefore, last sentence in this paragraph is Vidvat, Avidvat, Pratyaya Bheda, Ekshatva. Vidvat, Avidvat. Vidvat is the Jnani, Vidwan. Avidvat refers to Avidwan, Ajnani. And now Sri Shankaracharya comes to this Naiva Kurvanna Karayan, the last part. Yadyapi Karyakarana Karmani Avidyaya Atmani Adhyaropitani Sanyasya Aste Yuktam. All right. This person who has got illumination looks at everything being superimposed and really he doesn't have actions. Atma Samavai. But after all, if a jnani is eating food, it is he who is eating food, not somebody else. So I am eating, I am drinking, I am now resting. Atma Samavai, related intensely, very closely. Samavai has the meaning of related, associated with great proximity. Elsewhere in some other context, the redness of a pot is Samavai with the pot. Not painted, but the clay itself turns reddish when the pot is made. So it is so integrated with the pot, the redness. Like that, this I am eating, I am drinking, etc. are so integrated with the body in which you are fitted. Therefore, there must be some sense of, I am now eating. I am now making my hand take the food, that is karaitritva. You eat or you make your mouth eat. You sing or you ask your daughter to sing. So one is you yourself do, The other is you make someone do. So there should be a slight trace as long as you are in the body. Slightly you must be either doing or pushing the body to do. It is now answered, no. Naiva kurvan na kharayan. Then how come? How is this? So Sri Krishna has said it. The Purva says, I have doubt there. Kim yat. Purva imagined opponent's words begin there. Kim yat tat kartatvam karayitratvancha dehenah swatma samavai sat sanyasat na sambhavati yatha gacchato gatihi gamana vyapara parityage na syat tadvat kim va swataeva atmano nasti. So the Purva says, as long as a man is walking, the walking belongs to him. If he stops walking, that's a different issue. Therefore, does it not belong to the Atma? As long as Atma is in this body, the answer is given, na asti atmanaha swataha kartrutvam kartkarayitratvancha. There are many statements elsewhere. Don't hang on to only this statement. There are many statements where he said earlier in the second chapter, avikaryoyam uchyate. Was it not said by Sri Krishna that the Shuddha Atma is absolutely free of any modification? So action is a modification. For someone is standing and then he starts walking. So it got modified. Up to last moment he was standing, now he is walking. Change. Modification means change. But Atma is said to be utterly changeless. And in the coming chapter 13, Sri Krishna is going to say, Sharirastopi kaunteya nakaroti nalityate. Even though he is in the body, he doesn't get affected. And in the Upanishads, of which Bhagavad Geetā is a beautiful restatement, Dhayati iva, elayati iva, as though one is meditating, as though one is moving, shaking. Really, the Atma doesn't do anything at all. This way, the Purva-Pakshi's doubt that some little bit of agency, like a king comes and assumes his seat, sits upon his throne, and a dancer is waiting. Now, doesn't the king just want to make a gesture, maybe just say, come on, start? The answer, as regards this Vedantic context, is no. Here, the analogy would rather be, king just comes and sits on the chair. That is enough. The dancer then begins to dance. He does not give any hint. The sun does not give the least hint to any birds and other animals, etc. Come on, I have risen, now get up. Sun just rises. Animals and birds and we human beings, all of us rise with sunrise. So even the sun may have an example may have some limitation. The sun actually brings heat, pressure, or if somebody is sleeping, the windows open, curtains open, or outside the house, the very light is sensed by the eyes, by the mind. So as though the sun has given a bit of a hint. In the case of the Atma, don't imagine Atma must be producing some heat or light. No. This is all unnecessary twisting of the analogy. So continuing, Sri Krishna says in Geetā, na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srajati prabhuhu na karma phala sanyogam svabhavastu pravartate. Very powerful statement. Please do not imagine that there is the least doership and producing things outside you on your part? No. You don't do, you don't produce anything. Prabhu here is the Atma only. Na kartrutvam, the Atma doesn't have agency of doing things. And the word karmani here refers to things. Somebody makes a pot, a carpenter may make a bullock cart, an engineer may produce a machine, and everybody in their different fields, they bring out something. A scholar writes a book, so that bullock cart, machine, and book that is written by an author, they are all karmani here. Karma is not action here, though it's possible to interpret that way, but I'm going by Shānkara Bhāshya. Karmani, Shankaracharya says, Ratha, Gatha, Prasadadi, a chariot, Ratha, Gatha, a pot, Prasada, a palace. All these are made by people. So it refers to inert things. Lokasya nakartrutvam srajati prabhu, lokasya karmani api na srajati prabhu. And then there is no karma phala sanyoga also. Well, you may not make them, but when things come into being, won't you have a sense of, this is mine? I am connected with this car in which I travel. This is my car. Somebody's car is his car. So some kind of association, sanyoga, with the created objects, that's also dismissed. Then you may ask me, what under the sun is happening then? Cars are moving, people are traveling, birth and death are taking place, millions of things are taking place. Then how do you explain it all? The punchline of the shloka is Swabhavastu pravartate. The word Swabhava here refers to avidya. There is an error domain. There is a reference plane or frame of reference of avidya. Within that frame of reference of ignorance, everything is happening. But in vidya, nothing is happening at all. That is like Nisargadatta saying to students who visited him, in your world, a lot of things are happening. In my world, nothing ever happens. Someone asked him, what's the difference between our world and your world? Nisargadatta, the illumined person in Mumbai, said, lot of things happen in your world. Nothing happens in my world. Wow. Does it mean he doesn't see cars moving? He doesn't see people making noise? Doesn't he hear some music when it is played? He hears, he has not gone deaf. He sees, he has not gone blind. He notices cars are moving. Living in a very dense part of Mumbai, how could he not notice activities? Mumbai is the happening place. Very busy. There is a statement about Bombay. Mumbai never sleeps. 24 hours, things are happening in Mumbai. Mumbai in India is the New York of, for India, that's the New York. That indeed is the commercial capital and all that. So, Nisargadatta was deaf or blind or, no, he was vibrant, but zero identification, zero fear, zero sense of gaining or losing. When I may be identified, we are identified. Suppose somebody is from Gujarat and he picks up his newspaper and there is some news. Gujarati community has to be careful now. A new law is coming and something. Because he has identification with, I am a Gujarati. Oh my, what is this? Government is going crazy. Why are they targeting my community? And there's a slight anxiety. Whereas An illumined Gujarati lady or man also understands what is being said, but the mind is quiet. Inwardly, there is no turmoil, there is no fear. So nothing happens in my world means one has risen to that height of spiritual maturity that events around one do not affect one. For even that you see how in the same situation different people are affected to larger or less extent. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, they say, he was not a Atmajnani, but I'm saying even among Ajnas, there are people with more maturity, people with less maturity. Vallabhbhai Patel was arguing a case. His profession, after all, was of a lawyer, attorney. Somebody came running and gave him a piece of paper. Vallabhbhai stopped for a moment, read it, and then put it in his pocket, continued to argue the case. After half an hour or so, he was relieved of that duty as an advocate. Then he comes and shares with his friends what news came through that slip of paper. His wife had died. So look at his equanimity, look at his being able to put things in their place, attend to it a little later. How many have that ability? Most people cannot say one sentence more in their court case or something. Most people would have said to the judge, Your Honor, please excuse me. My wife has died. I need to leave. And the judge would have given permission also. So, not that everybody should do like Vallabhbhai Patel does. See, we should not imitate anybody literally. We should learn something to learn, that's there the matter ends. You don't have to literally behave like Gandhi. You don't have to literally behave like Subhash Chandra Bose or V. Savarkar or anybody. Everybody acted as per various factors that were governing their life outwardly and inwardly. Let them be what they were. Let us be what we are. Spiritual science says, do not have undue fear. Then do whatever you want. You have no fear. You may go and buy a house. Somebody has fear. He goes and buys a house. Buying house is not the problem. Do whatever you want without fear. Then how do I get rid of fear? Study more, meditate, serve people. Something happens inside you. Reflection. Don't make living fear as just a matter of will. Okay, my next birthday I will live fear. You know it won't happen like that. You need to day in and day out be alert, and awareness is the healer. If you are into some rituals, etc., fine. Finally, all rituals are meant to give you more calmness of the mind, whereby awareness takes place. Sri Kumar Rao, whom I have referred to, uses the expression mental model. You act out of a certain mental model. Many people cannot change at all. You know why? They are not aware of the mental model that they have been following. They have been going by very strongly. Somebody, to give a quick example, grew up looking at another family in the town as a very prestigious, rich family. So when he was a child, this boy, he was told by parents that family is very rich, they are very prestigious, they are all great, we are ordinary. It stuck in his mind. Much later, this boy actually did so well in his profession, earned so much of wealth. Also, in other ways, he became very prominent. But still, whenever he met a member of that family anywhere, if he was sitting, he would stand up, he would bow down, he would say, Is there something I can do for you? And so on. To some extent, okay. But when he was doing it every time, his wife asked, "Why are you giving so much respect to that family?" No, no, in our town, they are big people, we are small people. Wife said to him, maybe that was when you were growing up. Today, in several ways, not just money, in several ways, education, money, and behavior, in that so-called prestigious family, many people actually have fared so badly. Some of them have court cases against them. They were prestigious, yes, and some illustrious members were in that family. That is true. But you don't have to so beholden or, you don't have to bow down before them so much. He said, yeah, what you say makes sense to me, but he said to his wife, he agreed. But I don't know what happens. Suddenly somewhere, especially unexpectedly, if I see a member of that family, my childhood influences work up. I just know. So a lot of things like caste system, etc., like that. So there was somebody in an ashram. They were all studying together. On Rakhi day, one brahmachari who had a Brahmin background tied Rakhi, or rather, that girl tied Rakhi to him. That's fine. They are like brothers and sisters. They were studying Vedanta. But after that, the girl said to the brahmachari, "I'm very emotional today." He said, "Why? We are all students of the same guru." He said, "No, but first time in life I have tied a Rakhi to a Brahmin." Vedanta is saying you are all the Shuddha Atma. This is called mental model. So people, different belonging castes and belonging to these various racial communities, nationalities, carry a certain picture. That's called mental model. Apply it in any context. Next time you feel nervous about something, just do not question that nervousness. Just try to see what is the mental model working through you. Next time you feel high or low, you feel superior to somebody. Ask what is making me feel superior? Is it my caste? Is it my gender? I am a man and she is a woman, and as a man I am. Hold on, that may not be valid. Just because you are a man, that's not a reason for you to think you are in some way superior to the woman. Drop that. It's some old questionable, objectionable conditioning. So it happens. I can give 100 examples, but the key word is mental model. And when I read that in the book of Sri Kumar Rao, I said, my God, he is perhaps knowingly conveying the teaching of Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi said, ask yourself, who am I? So, on a psychological level, the question, who am I, refers to questioning a mental model that you have about yourself and then a certain relationship, right? So, Prabhavastu Pravarta, break all mental models. Not literally. Vyavahara requires sometimes, while in Rome, do as Romans do. But in your higher understanding, which never is away from you, you must know these are all certain preferred ways of behavior in some context. That's about it. If I am not in Rome, I don't have to do as Romans do. But as I am here, I go by. In this way, Swabhavastu Pravartate. Swabhava is Swabhavastu Swaha Bhavaha Avidya Lakshana Prakriti, which itself is called Maya. In the 7th chapter, Bhagavan is going to say, Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Devi Maya, Acharya Shankara quotes it. To begin the Bhāshya, Kincha further, Na Kartrutvam Swataha, Kartrutvam is oneself doing, and Napi Karmani, Ratha Ghata Prasadadi, Ipsita Tamani. what you desire. I want to have a car, ratha. I want to have a pot. Pot, does it have to be clay pot? To go into a steel shop and buy a lot of new vessels, big and small, round and other. They're all ghata. Prasada, you want a new house. Tamani, all of them are desired. Now, neither the doer, his work, nor objects that he desires are created by the Atma. Atma is one without a second. Ekameva advitiyam sat, as the Chandogya says. Na api rathadi kritavataha tat phalena sanyogam na karma phala sanyogam. So some kind of association. No, the Atma remains alipta, unattached. So when our meditation should be Vedantic meditation. Most of you, even though you have been students of Vedanta, I would imagine do meditation of the nature of bhakti. You chant some mantra and you may visualize receiving the grace and support of God. Fine. We are not saying stop it overnight. But when you are a student of Vedanta, once in a while, try this meditation. Next time you feel a bit stressed or feel guilty, feel some remorse. Oh, was I wrong in something? Was I harsh to somebody last 2 days ago? Oh, did I do something unfair last week? For a moment, say, who is this I who is feeling guilt? Who is this I who is feeling penitent or sad about something that he had done? The answer will be I. Try to put it in a perspective, Vedanta perspective. And you will realize how the I dissolves. You'll find yourself greatly quiet. You find Svabhavastu Pravartate. In a certain frame of reference, yes, somebody was harsh, somebody was polite, somebody was fair, somebody was unfair, but this is all the shadow play going on. Vidya Bhumi. Yadi kinchidapi swataha na karoti na karayati cha dehi, kastarhi kurvan karayanscha pravartate. Then who is this entity who seems to be doing, who seems to be getting things done? Uchyate, it's answered by Sri Krishna. Swaha bhavaha swabhavaha avidya lakshana prakriti maya pravartate. Devihi isha ityadya vakshyamana, going to be said in 7th chapter. Thus, it is all avidya bhumi. Are you saying there are no 7 colors in the rainbow? We say when you take the rainbow to be real, there are 7 colors. When you know this rainbow is an illusion, none of them is true. When the pencil is put in water, it bends by a certain degree of angle. When it is put in some other liquid of greater specific density or lesser specific density of compared with water, the angle by which the pencil bends changes. So in physics, they do the experiment. Because the difference in specific density between air outside and the liquid inside makes the optic illusion vary accordingly. Depending on what liquid, in what translucent or transparent liquid you have put the pencil, it varies. So do you mean all that science of theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, etc., all that science is bogus? We don't say it is bogus. But what about the higher truth that the pencil does not bend at all? Advaita Vedanta is like that. If you go to the depth of the matter, you are never a loser. You are never a sinner. You never hurt anybody. You never got hurt by anybody. all these ideas, I made a mistake. Though I embarked on spiritual journey, I was secretly pursuing wealth. I was actually envying pleasure with the people enjoying ice cream or something. Oh, I should be enjoying this. You know. So sometimes spiritual seekers also go on a journey of regretting. Oh, I have been in spirituality for 12 years now, but I feel so sad. So I have worn orange clothes also, but people look at me being in orange clothes, but I know my sad story. I actually, when I meet my classmates who are rich, I feel a pinch of sorrow in me. I did not make that money. I did not become general manager of a company that this classmate of mine has become. Somebody said, I'm not talking of any particular person, somebody says, in a way, yes, you are right. You still have some matters bugging you, though it is 3 years since you took sannyas. Okay. But what is the Vedanta you are studying daily, day in and day out? Vedanta asks you to rise above that whole frame of reference. If you say, my classmate has become general manager of a company and I have become a Swami, though in a sense I had said goodbye to all those things, in another sense I have not succeeded like he has, and so on. All this is bandalbaji, they call it. Go to the higher level, and once for all you will see that any sorrow born of comparison, any regret, any idea for that matter of I should have been like this, I should not have been like that, you know, all these together are put aside in the Vedanta. No room for guilt, no room for shame, no room for feeling accomplished, no jealousy, no envy. For that, you don't need to take orange robes also. Jnana is what is required. Live in your own house with your spouse and 3 children. But if you understand Vedanta and do some sincere investigation, with or without orange robes, with or without family, with or without bank balance or property, etc., a certain clarity will emerge. Then somewhere you meet an old classmate who has, from the worldly point of view, risen so high. Another place you meet another classmate, former classmate of yours, who, from the worldly point of view, is way down, messed up completely. While you do whatever you may do, your bosom will be free from either inferiority when you met the old classmate who has quote and unquote risen high. It doesn't mean anything. And when you meet another old classmate who has messed up his life, so to say, you won't feel superior about yourself. I lived rightly. And this fellow, look at him. His finances are, messed up. His relationship is messed up. His marriage is messed up. Everything. I am far better than him. So this, I am better than him. I am nowhere near her. All these are in the Vidya Bhumi. Vidya Bhumi, to act out of compassion, but no pride or no inferiority. Don't have any such complex. Be at peace. Meet people who have done well, so to say, in the world without least pinch of, least trace of any sadness. And that will be the gift of Vedanta. You study Vedanta, inquire, and finally, in summary, how it happens is you see that these are all constructs of the thought, of the mind. They don't have real value. They don't have actual value. The mind is such a thing, it makes something look very valuable when you die for it. But if you are illumined, you will rise above the mind. Now, strengthening that very view, let's read one more verse. Sri Krishna says, Nadatte kasyachit papam nachaiva sukritam vibhuhu ajnanenavritam dhanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Vibhu, and earlier times Prabhu, Vibhu or Prabhu, all refer to the pure self. The pure self actually simply cannot take any sin into itself. No sin can ever touch it. And no sukrita, punya can ever touch it. Na papam, na sukritam. Then it's all a matter of spiritual ignorance. Therefore, for heaven's sake, no matter how busy you are, how much responsibilities you have, don't think about quantity, but qualitatively, even 2 minutes here and 1 minute there. Think about the essential teaching of Vedanta. Contemplate. Then you will find your responsibilities also will increase. Then you may be worried. Maybe, when will my duties end? Duty is one form of illusion. Really speaking, you have no duty at all. But be careful. So because I said it, don't go and declare, I have no duty at all. Transformation has to take place inside you. Truth is, you have no duty. You are free now. But it should not be just words. You should see the truth of it. All accounts are settled now in life. You have no karma bandhana right now. But should understand how, should clearly see the thought-created attachments, obligations, and so on. Thought has created a network of issues for you. And through clear insight into Vedanta, you will be able to undo them all. Therefore, do not hang on to just words, but realize it through Atma Chintana, Atma Vichara. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Right then. Om Namah Shivaya.